Plains Indians by Julia, Tommy, Taylor, Erica, Alec, Brant, Michelle, and Rohith.
Begin.
Today we are going to learn about the Plains Indians and what they did in their lifetime. They lived in the North America, which was made out of grasslands, valleys, streams, and hills. There are not very many trees in this region. Did you know that in the summer it's hot, and in the winter it was very cold and long? There were very many animals. The adult Plains Indians would teach their children about what they would do as adults. Women would raise their children or do their duties. Some duties were to clean or cook. Men mostly hunted buffalo or made weapons. They also have special jobs for some people to do. People wore costumes so everybody knew what they were going to do that day. Before the white man came, some people would be lookout to make sure nobody was coming.
In the People by Rohith. In the Plains tribe, birth was a very important event. When a child was born, the ceremony could last up to 4 days. People didn't get names in the Plains tribe. They got nicknames. You could also get nicknames as you grow if you performed certain deeds. When a child did something bad, he didn't get any physical punishment. All they got was a stern look. But if they did something really bad, they could get embarrassed in front of the whole tribe. They could also get a nickname that could change their life. Not all men had to become warriors. They could become a great storyteller, or they could be a fierce hunter.
Hunting by Julia Camelo. How they hunt their buffalo. They hunted their animals in a big group, and they had to disguise themselves by gathering a lot of animal hides and put it all over them, and went out to hunt for the animals, so they would cover themselves in it so that they would blend in with the ground. Then they would hunt buffaloes.
The Plains Indians had grown many food, but every tribe had different foods grown. The Plains often traded amongst tribes. There was lots of buffalo meat to eat. Sometimes they roasted it, made sausages from it, and dried it out. Sometimes they boiled it, and sometimes boiled it with fresh vegetables. Some meat was also made to get dried in the sun to make jerky. There was a food called a pemmican. What you had to do was get meat, put powder, and then put melted berries on top. They grew pumpkins and other vegetables. The Plains ate a lot of food like berries, cherries, wild greens, camas roots, and wild prairie tulips with the meat.
The houses by Michelle. Visitors were welcome in the teepees when the teepee's flat was open. They had an honor seat. The Lakota, Sioux, and the Cheyenne lived in portable teepees. The women had to put the teepee up and down. The teepees were light before the houses, and the dogs carried the teepees and other stuff. There was 4 steps to build a teepee. The teepee were in the prairies. Clothes by Eric Shin. The clothes of the Plains Indians were mostly made out of animal skins, deer, and antelope. Women were in charge of making all the clothes in for the tribe. The men wore buffalo on their shoulders. They also had grizzly necklaces. Did you know that the number of feathers you have on the war bonnet was related to the number of brave acts you have performed by each man? The women dressed in deerskin. They wore seashells for jewelry. Plains Indians wore moccasins on their feet that were decorated with beads.
Chiefs by Rohith. The chief played a huge role in keeping the tribe operate. He gave orders, leads the tribe, decides many things and more. One of the most famous chiefs ever is Sitting Bull. Sitting Bull was famous for leading the Battle of the Little Big Horn. Sitting Bull was born in 1831 at Grand River, South Dakota. Throughout Sitting Bull's life, he did things that changed life that we know as we know it today. Sitting Bull died on 1890 in the same place he was born because he was shot by the Indian police. Chiefs are a part of the soul of the tribe, and without them, tribes wouldn't exist.
So edit this. The gunstick weapon actually had nothing to do with guns, for guns were not introduced until the late 1700s. The gunstick had an axe-like blade on one side and a bison horn on the other, with this, which is attached with a string. That shows the blunt bison horn side.
The most common hunting weapons were bows and arrows, hunting knives and gunstick war club, the tomahawk, and eventually guns.
Knives could be made out of rock, wood, or even bone. They made arrowheads from quartz, flint, and quartzite. The Plain Indians hunted buffalo, elk, deer, and antelope.
The Plains Indians lived in teepees because they needed to move quickly. They needed to move quickly because their food, buffalo, moved and they needed food. So that's why they lived in teepees. Women of the plains made many foods. Some examples were buffalo jerky and grinded corn. The chief was in charge of many things in the tribe. He made weapons to keep the people of the tribe safe.
Conclusion. I hope you learned a lot about Plains Indians because they are very interesting people. We hope you enjoyed it.